All right. Good afternoon, everyone. It appears that most of you received the memo that this State of the Castle is a little bit different, being here on a Tuesday instead of a Thursday. So appreciate everyone's accommodation to get updated on a few things around the State of the Castle. Not as many questions as normal, but that's quite fine. I'm sure we'll be able to fill the time or give you some back in your day. So, first things first, is anybody here for the first time at a State of the Castle meeting? There they are, the Johnsons. Welcome. Very, very excited to have you. So our State of the Castles, I think as I might have mentioned to both of you, are just an update that we do on a monthly basis. You'll see a number of familiar faces giving updates on various topics. So, and as always, you have the opportunity to submit questions beforehand, but of course, as you know, we also take those questions as they come up. So, I'm Tyler, I'm your Executive Director, and again, just want to extend and wish you all a wonderful holiday season. I think it's been off to a pretty good start here at East Castle Place, and I think Mike Brever and Evan will update us a little bit more on that as a recap of the Christmas at the Castle, as well as I had the privilege of attending the Castle Christmas Choir concert on Sunday. And you couldn't find a spot if you came at 3:15 for the 3:30 show because it was already filled, unless you got some of the balcony or the standing room only tickets that were available, and then I know the 6:30 concert. So again, just an incredible concert that Evan will touch on as a recap as well for those of you that may not have been able to attend. I did have a chance to meet with Jo Schmidt, the resident council president, and unfortunately she has a conflict, so she also said that there weren't any other resident council members that wanted to provide an update, so I'll provide one. And just a thank you for the resident council's efforts over this past year and the impact that they continue to have on the campus. It's truly awesome to be able to work with a group of your neighbors to continue to improve your home, continue to make what you want come to life, and just be an incredible group to support the directors that you'll see as well. Also, just wanted to make a note for you that are at the resident council or in resident council. Note as a reminder, there is no council meeting this month as well, so you get your Christmas break from your volunteering. So again, they'll start those back up in January. So with that, I'm going to have Lindsay DeGooch come on up and provide a health center update, and I think she has a few of her team members that she wants to introduce to you as well. Lindsay, take it away.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Happy holidays. So we've had a lot of updates and change in the healthcare area since the last time we all met in November. First, for a health center update, we had our annual survey. So for those of you who are new, who are unfamiliar, every 9 to 15 months we are surveyed by the state of Wisconsin because we are governed by the CMS, Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, and they come in anywhere from 2 days to 5 days, many of them unannounced, and they look at all of our records from the past 9 to 15 months, essentially. So they came on the last week of the 15th month, so they were about as late as they possibly could be while still being in compliance. And they came the week of Thanksgiving, so nothing like sending us into the holidays. But it was a very successful survey. We had 5 members of the state of Wisconsin Milwaukee team on site for 3 full days and looking at all 15 months. And we ended up with 2 small citations that are low scope and severity. One for a colleague not being within reach in that moment, and another one for changing their gloves a certain amount of time and so on. So infection control and then what would be considered under that quality of care scope. So both very small, exactly what we like to see, if not better, because again, if we have another deficiency-free, we'll have the federal surveyors from Chicago coming up to follow up the local chapter's work because it's their job to find areas of opportunity. But they were in on no complaints, as well as they found nothing wrong with any observations, documentation, and record review from the prior 15 months. So that's a Very big hats off to the health center team and the nursing team, as well as should just instill confidence in each and every one of you for choosing such a great place to live. And then also in November, we had 2 new team members. So if you recall, my last update, I talked about how we were this close to announcing our director of nursing. And so I'm happy to bring up Tracy Lappin. Tracy is our new director of nursing for East Castle Place. She might be a familiar face for some of you if you've ever been up to therapy or if you have had a stay in the health center. So Tracy's been here 4 years now and has worked her way from a floor nurse to a nurse manager and now our director of nursing. So she's very well acclimated with the director team as well as the remainder of our staff. Tracy, you want to give yourself a little intro?
Hello, and thank you for that. Yeah, my name is Tracy. I'm super excited to be in this role. As Lindsay mentioned, I've been here 4 years. And prior to that, actually, I had a whole other career. I was a district manager for Home Depot, so I oversaw over 800 employees. So the leadership part of this role is not new to me. And I'm very looking forward to working with this team and getting to know many of you. I recognize many of you and even more of you and being a support however I can. So thank you so much.
Excellent. And just to keep the good times rolling, I'd like to bring Nate Bernier up as well, briefly for an introduction. So Nate is our newest member to the team. Nate is our new nurse education manager. So Nate, this is a new position in this fiscal year and budget period. So Nate will be doing education for the community and specifically in nursing. Nate, if you want to give yourself a brief intro as well. He wasn't prepared for this.
No, that's okay. Yeah, as she said, I'm Nathan. You can call me Nate. Been in healthcare for about 15 years. Was a nurse, CNA. Came from Cargill, which is occupational health nursing. So really excited to be part of the team. Looking forward to helping East Castle Place succeed and have success in education. So yeah, I'm excited. Thanks again.
Perfect. Thank you, Nate and Tracy. Well, any other questions for me that I can answer? No? All right, then I will. Oh, yes.
What does the educator, what does the educator do?
So the question was, what does the educator do? So, part of our survey process and part of our governance from CMS, they require a certain amount of annual education hours. So for CNAs, and not to get too much in the weeds here, require 12 to 15 hours of annual education. Our nurses as well for competencies to make sure that if we bring someone in with IVs, that our staff know how to adequately do that, make sure that our residents, if they have a specific skincare treatment and so on, so staying on top of best practices so that we're not being reactive to any clinical condition or problem, that we're being proactive upon a resident coming in. Great question. Any other questions? Yeah.
Could you say again what the 2 minor problems were in the survey?
Sure. The question was, what were the 2 problems or the 2 citations in the survey? One was for infection control specific to glove usage and changing our gloves. So anytime you touch a new surface, you grab a piece of paper towel, you wash your hands, you have to put on a new set of gloves. There's a lot of changes in that, and then you're also being watched by someone. So they missed one glove change on that. And then the other one, a call light was on the floor and wasn't picked up, and the surveyor observed that. So it would be considered the resident, how would they be able to call for help in that exact moment? And then that sense was rectified as well. So we do have a plan of correction in place, obviously for both of these citations, and education has already been done for our staff to remedy these. Any other questions I can answer? Yeah.
What about COVID?
COVID, great question. So, thank you. This, I think, is the first month in 2 years that I haven't brought up COVID. But COVID, we, knock on wood, do not have any in-house right now. We have one resident in independent living who does have them, or who does have COVID, but nowhere else throughout the community, and right now, no staff members. I do want to put a plug in, though. It is going around, And symptoms are, I'd say more severe than what they've been in the past. I don't know if that's the weather changing and so on, but the hospitals are full and there has been an increase in COVID. So please continue hand washing. And I know it kind of seems like a thing of the past, but if you have a mask and you feel like wearing it, I would wear it. Using hand sanitizer, as well as just being aware of family symptoms. We're all gathering in here over the holidays and so on. And again, if you are feeling sick, please let Teresa Jenkins know. We can obviously get you room trays, to-goes, Gatorade, and so on, because it is, again, flu season is amongst us as well. And it always ramps up. We see post New Year's, Christmas, into January. So if we can avoid that, knock on wood, this year that would be fabulous. Any other questions? All right, now I'll bring Majorca up for our hospitality update.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Hello, I just wanted to give a brief little update for the holidays. So on Tuesday, it is Christmas Eve, so in the Gilman, we will be offering a brunch from 11:30 till 1. We would really appreciate if everybody could make their reservations by Friday so we can kind of plan appropriately for food. Also for that day, we do have the takeaway entree that you do need to pre-order, which is the prime rib. There is the possibility that, we're going to make X amount of prime rib, and if somebody asks for it on Tuesday, we might be out, because that is definitely something that we can't make ahead of time because of the roasting time. So that is definitely important, that if you want to order that entree to take away, you're really letting us know by Friday for that. So on Christmas Eve, brunch service only, no dinner service. Then on Wednesday, Christmas Day, we will be having a little bit elevated continental breakfast from 7:30 to 10:30. There's no reservations needed. There's no orders that need to be placed. It's just like the standard continental that you can come down and help yourself to, that we'll be adding some extra items to and keeping it out a little bit longer that day. The rest of the service for the week is normal. Then it leads us to New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve is the following Tuesday. We will not have lunch service that day. We will have an elevated dinner that evening. That special menu is only what will be available for dining in the dining room. Tim and I were working on it this morning. We'll get it finished up today so I can get it out to everybody. That is all that I have, unless anybody has any questions. Nope. All right.
Good afternoon, everyone. I don't have a formal agenda, but I just want to touch base on a few updates. So the first one is just kind of a housekeeping thing. I've had a few residents over the last few weeks come up to me and say, hey, I'm missing the newspaper. Where's this newspaper? Where's that newspaper? If you are using the newspaper in the 1884, please continue to do so. Just leave it for your neighbor for the next person to use. If you want to grab it kind of at the next day or the end of the day, if there's an article, feel free to do that, but please leave it in there for the next person. Second one is I am hoping to have January activity calendars out by the end of this week. I should say they will be out by the end of this week. So I will send you guys an email with all that. Lots of fun stuff coming in January. Thanks to Rita and the rest of the Lifestyle Committee for their due diligence in putting that together and making it a festive January as well. The third one, how many choir singers from the community choir do we have that sang on Sunday? Can you raise your hands? Wonderful. How about a big round of applause for all of our choir singers? It was an awesome performance. I did have to watch the replay, unfortunately, but that replay I did send out to everyone for on YouTube, so if you didn't get a chance to see it, or if you did see it and you want to send it to your friends, or if you want to rewatch it, please do so. And then the final bit I have is just a reminder about tonight's happy hour here in Lindsay Hall. I don't know what you guys are most excited about, the music or the announcement of who are going to be winning the floor decoration prizes. So Santa gave me his winners, so he said everyone did a great job. Some more than others, but no, really, everyone did a great job. Thank you so much. It really is festive for all of our our residents, and Santa was very impressed. Ms. Hack?
I've had several people say, do you know who does the judging of the floors and what is involved with that?
Santa.
We're interested. Who does the judging of the floors and so on?
It's a combination of staff.
A combination
Yeah, a combination of staff who walk the floors.
of staff.
Yep. And next year, guys, if we want to do something different, I'm more than open to that. Please bring that to the lifestyle committee. If we want to do peer judging, that's awesome too. Any other questions for me? Wonderful. With that, I'll pass it on to Mike.
Thank you, Evan. I also don't have an extensive agenda, so it's only going to be a half hour or so that I'll talk up here. I do have a couple of things. First of all, I was not one of the staff involved in judging, so just keep that in mind. Whether you're happy, if you're happy about it, come see me. If you're not, I had nothing to do with it. I do want to point out one thing that is not on your agenda. You've heard for a couple of weeks now that we've been collecting toys that we will take to a local nonprofit called Nourish MKE. They used to be known as Freedom's Community Ministries. Mia and I will be doing that on Thursday. So thank you to all of you that have participated in that. We've got several $100s worth of toys that are going to be going to a local food pantry. They're going to have their Christmas celebration this Saturday. Santa's going to be giving them out to the children of the families that come to that food pantry. So thank you very much to all of you that participated. We will be telling you in a moment or two about the Employee Appreciation Fund, but I'm going to bring up a special guest to talk about that. I'm going to tell you about Christmas at the Castle. First of all, I really want to send out a thank you to Majarka and her team, and Evan for his team. Without those two people involved in Christmas at the Castle, there really isn't a Christmas at the Castle. So thank you to both of them. They did a fabulous job. Second of all, although I'm the director of philanthropy, and as such, money is the benchmark that determines my view of success. But in reality, there is something even more than that, and that is the participation in Christmas at the Castle that made it extremely successful this year. We had 19 local merchants and 4 of our very own East Castle Place departments contributed items that we used in the basket raffles. We had over $2,000 of items donated this year, and we are very, very grateful to that. We also had a lot of your neighbors participate in making it a success, and that truly is what defines Christmas at the Castle. They put the Kris Kringle in all of our fun on a day like that. We had 6 of your neighbors that were involved in soliciting the merchant donations. I mean, they literally went down Downer Avenue or over here on North Avenue, and they knocked on store doors and said, we purchased things from you during the course of the year. How about donating to our cause? We had 8 of your neighbors that worked on selling the bucket raffle tickets. Without that, there wouldn't have been a bucket raffle. We had 12 of your neighbors that participated in making those baskets. I think we had 18. I think we had 18 baskets this year. 12 people put those all together. We're very grateful to that. 16 of your neighbors participated in hosting the marketplace up on the 2nd floor, serving as sales representatives or volunteers helping you go through the items and make your decisions on what you might want to buy. And we had 5 of your neighbors that worked with us on the wine and the cookbook sales. Truly, that is Christmas at the Castle in my mind, the participation from all of you. So thank you. You are the reason it was as successful as it was. I am pleased to say that this year we financially made a record as well. $2,810 was raised at Christmas at the castle. Of that, $2,240 is going to be going to fund scholarships this next year. If you know anything about the scholarships, you know that that's anywhere from 1 to 2 full scholarships that got funded through that effort. And we are extremely, extremely grateful. The rest of the funds went to Community Life. That was the sale of pickles and things like that. So it was a huge success all around, and I'm grateful to all of you. There is another item that I want to talk to you about today, though, and I want to point out that the person I'm going to bring up has asked that I stay up and serve as his Vanna, as he gives us some pointers on the success of the Employee Appreciation Fund. But before I bring him up here, I do want to reiterate that this afternoon's celebration, the happy hour, it's an opportunity for all of us to really revel in the success of the Employee Appreciation Fund, share a little bit of Christmas camaraderie, and I encourage you all to come and let the person I'm going to bring up here in a moment know just how grateful you are for everything that he did. It's really my pleasure now to bring up your resident council representative, who served as the chair and the voice of our Employee Appreciation Fund this year, Bob Faraday. Bob, why don't you come up and let us know how it went.
Thank you, Vanna. You know, when Joe Schmidt asked me if I would do this, I thought, this is really going to be fun. It really was fun. It really was. Sorry. I'd like to start with some recent history. The fund kicked off on October 7th with the Fall Leaves letter. The second letter, dated October 31, it was the Happy Halloween letter. The third letter, dated November 21, was the Packer letter. And the fourth letter was my favorite, which was the one that wraps up the campaign, a celebratory letter. So in 2 months, with 4 letters and hopefully a few smiles, you all generously donated $82,436. 6,000 more than the year before, which was also a record-setting year, and 64% higher than in 2015, 9 years before. What that tells me is that you truly are generous, because the parameters of $10 a week per resident were the same throughout this whole time period, and yet we raised a record amount. So it's amazing to me. 154 employees shared in their appreciation gift this year, with full-time employees receiving $753 on their December 6th paycheck. Most of you gave by check, about 85%, but 15% gave through other methods, such as qualified charitable donation from the IRA, donor advised funds, credit card, cash, or monthly installments. I would highly recommend it for tax reasons that you consider the qualified charitable donations. It's a very effective way to care for charities and get a tax break. I'd like to acknowledge my other team members, Mike Brever, who was the advisor, and Lauren Kobash, our artist employee in Bradford Terrace, for her artistic talent. And I think she works for Evan, and I think she did all that on her lunch hour, Evan. On behalf of the resident council and myself, I just want to say you made this such a pleasure for me. It was just a joy. And the feedback I've gotten has been positive. And it just shows that when well-intentioned people get together as a group, they can really move mountains. So thank you, thank you. The happy hour today, as Mike said, is in a way for East Castle to express their appreciation for what happened. Then there is a video, I believe, that has been prepared by Scott.
Just want to thank you for your generous gift, and on behalf of the community land team, thank you!
Thank you, residents, for your generosity and your kindness. Thank you, residents, for everything you do for us. We appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. I want to thank you for the generous gift. Thank you. Thank you.
I want to thank all these castle residents for the Christmas bonus. You guys make our holidays brighter. Thank you so much. For the PCT staff, thank you.
Thank you.
We want to say thank you for your generous gift from all the teams. Happy holidays. Thank you.
Thank you for your generous gift. Have a happy holiday.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas! Thank you for your Christmas generosity that we spent on Christmas Eve.
Thank you. Thank you from all of us in hospitality for your generous donation.
Thank you!
My name is Julia. I'm the health services manager on floors 4 and 5 there in Bradford Terrace.
I'm Maureen Scribner, Administrative Assistant.
I'm Jennifer Ratcliffe. I work in the sales and marketing department. And we just wanted to say thank you so much for your generous gift. We really appreciate it, and we all enjoy working here in this castle place and making it a friendly home for all of you.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
So again, I want to echo and say thank you on behalf of all of the staff that you impacted. It was truly, an incredible feat for what you all did, and I think it shows in some of the videos the impact that had on our staff. So, Bob, thank you for leading that, and of course all of you for your generosity. I'm not Eric Peterson, but I will speak on his behalf because Eric is out of the office today. So just two items there. First is, I know there was questions about the lighting in Lake Terrace. Roman Electric was out last week. They were working with Enterprise. That's the company that essentially controls and programs the lights in Lake Terrace. So we're looking for a resolution soon. And so hopefully by the next time Eric is in front of you, we have that solution to help lower some of those lights in Lake Terrace that has been requested so much. The next piece, since Eric didn't have any questions to answer, is just the furnace filter replacement memo. Did everybody get this memo? It was sent via email and it is in the elevators. So I spoke with Michael and Jordan today. They'll be taking care of the filter replacement checks. They're starting in Lake Terrace. The 9 a.m. is a little bit of a soft start since the delivery got delayed. And so the filters are supposed to arrive tomorrow morning, but just a note there. They will start on the 4th floor of Lake Terrace and work their ways down, hoping still to complete Lake Terrace tomorrow. If there is going to be a significant change, my guess is Historic Terrace might just start more in that 11 o'clock or noon hour, as opposed to that 9 a.m. Hour, but we're looking to stay on track. And again, we do have kind of a catch-all day on the 24th, the Tuesday or Christmas Eve day. Again, you do not need to be present in your home while this is going on. It is our staff members that are going to be doing your filter replacements as well as checking some of the fire alarm batteries and things of that nature in your home. Should be no more than about 15 to 30 minutes in each home. So again, no reason to be home. You are welcome to be home. And again, if there's a great concern, please see me, and I'm happy to work with you. Questions? And they'll also do just an overall heating check, which hopefully we know our heat is working at this point in the winter. All right, and next up is myself, just a few items, a question regarding the cost of decorating for the Christmas, inside and out. So last year, if you remember, in 2024, we had budgeted to purchase brand new Christmas decor. We reused much of the Christmas decor and then added a little bit to it. So we did pay for Belfiore to come in and put all of that up. But the outside exterior lights were all purchased by East Castle Place on pretty much a Black Friday sale last year, and then put up by our own staff. So again, the cost is not immense by any means for Belfiore to come in for a day to put it up. And I will share with you, it allows for the staff members that are caring for you and taking care of your services to focus on you and not take away work orders and things of that nature and delays. And also their time, which we do pay them for, to put up the decorations as well. So special thanks to Maureen, as she's the one that coordinates Belfiore, to come in and put up all the decorations. And I think, again, obviously the hallway decorations that are pretty awesome are put up by you. But the common area items, and then Eric and his team, along with a few others, put up the outside decor. And then lastly is that chairs and tables shouldn't be pushed against the walls by residents or employees. The walls are getting marked. I don't disagree with you, but we do need to put chairs and tables against the walls to get them out of the way for the various things that we have going on. That's why we have preventative maintenance work orders that Dustin will go around and do, which he could do that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because sometimes as soon as something gets repaired, it needs to be repatched because something happened. So things happen. It's part of being an active community, which I love to see. And again, if you do notice anything amiss or anything that you feel hasn't been addressed, feel free to put a work order in. And then obviously if you feel that hasn't worked, feel free just to touch base with myself, and I can make sure I get a status for you. But on a monthly basis, we do have Dustin that does have a work order to go around campus with a bucket of paint. I think I saw Jesus today as well doing the same to touch things up around the campus. So those are really the only two items that I had. The director team really did a nice job in filling out the rest of the agenda. But is there any other questions that anyone has? Yes, Ken.
On the day of the concert, some of us were wondering if it wouldn't be possible to have a very easy, light supper for the singers, because
Sure.
Some of them are 90 years old, and it gets hard to, in a short period of time, to have to get together and so on and so forth. So
Sure. Kathy, I had the same thought, and I, for some reason, thought Gary was helping coordinate that, but we'll take care of that next year and make sure that we have something. So, not a problem. Anything else? Yes?
On the concert, with all the people in the hallway, you really couldn't hear anybody sing, heard some music. Is there a way to get some kind of a loudspeaker or something out there for something like that? A microphone?
Yeah, I'll chat with Evan to figure out how we can do that for next year. I think the 3:30. Again, we knew it was going to be full, generally because the Bradford Terrace residents also come down at that time to enjoy the concert. And so, again, in talking with Evan, he already mentioned, do we, separate the concerts in some fashion where we essentially allow, or not allow, but have half the residents come to the early one, half the residents come to the late one. I don't know how busy the 6:30 one was, but maybe that's something too we can work with Gary on, and maybe it's a 2 o'clock and a 4 o'clock, because I think that 6:30 may get a little late. So again, there's a number of things that we can do. The microphone wasn't working either, so that unfortunately wouldn't work, and then based on the choir, but we have a couple of opportunities. Again, it showed up very well on the iPad or on the recording device that we're using. So again, we'll definitely be able to send that link out if Evan, I believe, already has. So feel free to rewatch it. And again, I think it was just, you saw the response of residents that wanted to be here and listen to the incredible choir and musicians. So opportunity for us next year to even fine tune it even more. So anything else? Well, if not, again, I wish each of you a wonderful holiday season. You will see a number of staff members still here to take care of you. Maybe not as many as what normally is, as they'll be enjoying time off with their loved ones as well over the holiday season. But again, we'll make sure that we're still taking care of everything that you need. And again, wish everybody a wonderful, wonderful holiday. Take care.